Interveld. She's a Dutch member of the European Parliament. So the professor there retracting a bit, is that enough to calm down the critics?
No, I actually think it makes matters worse. I mean, first of all, the words don't really matter that much. I think the statements were totally unacceptable. But then if he retracted, first of all, how credible is that? And secondly, I mean, it makes him unsuitable as a diplomat. Diplomats are people who weigh their words, who think before they speak. So a retraction only strengthens the impression of somebody who doesn't control his impulses. So I don't think he's suitable as a diplomat. And after the remarks he made, I don't think that he is the right person to be the interlocutor for the EU with the US.
Just explain to us the rights of the European Union in rejecting him.
Well, this is not only about the formal rights, we're still looking into that, but this is the person who's supposed to be, well, he's representing the US, of course, but in a way also the go-between between the US and the EU. Traditionally, we have very good relations with the US mission to the European Union. Regardless of political color, we always work with them very well. But this is, of course, very difficult. I mean, somebody who made statements, basically saying that the European Union should be tamed and that he would prefer for the European Union to be dissolved. I mean, how are we going to work with somebody like that? It's a matter of mutual respect. And now, I mean, I'm even surprised that people are asking the question. Imagine that the European Union would send an ambassador to the US making similar remarks about the US. Nobody would accept that, and everybody would understand that such a person were not the right representative. So I think, it's pretty obvious why this person is not the right man for the job.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you get ambassadors in countries that abuse human rights a lot who are quite happy to state their government's view. You say it's not traditional, this, but the fact is that the White House believes the EU should be dissolved. That's what it thinks.
Yes, that's fine. Okay, but
its ambassador should reflect that, shouldn't it?
Well, fine, but it means then that we have a totally different relationship. I mean, I still like to cling to the idea that we have a kind of special relationship, that we are friends and allies working together on the basis of the same values. And it's true that there are big question marks over that now, and the appointment of somebody like this would actually confirm those question marks. I would prefer for the EU and the US to remain close friends and allies. We have relations with lots of countries that are not friends, and their ambassadors may make strange statements, but I would not expect that from somebody representing the US.
Does your sort of anxiety on this reveal a European fear of what the world would look like if America was not backing Europe?
It's not about backing Europe. This is about mutual respect. And this is also about the European Union respecting itself. There are, 300 million Americans? Surely they can find somebody who has more moderate views and who has at least, regardless of his political views, who has a degree of respect for the European Union, because that is, I think, essential when we're talking about diplomatic relations.
Even if Donald Trump does not have that respect?
Well, it's also up to the United States to decide what kind of relationship they want with the European Union. If this is the signal they want to give, fine, but that will be very detrimental to transatlantic cooperation. And I think there is mutual benefit from good transatlantic relations, mutual benefit. So therefore, I think it would be in the interest of the United States as well to appoint somebody who can really contribute to good diplomatic relations.
What are the politics of this? Is there enough feeling about this, people feeling as you do in Brussels, to stop it, to block him?
Well, we'll see about that. I think the feeling is definitely there. I don't think that there is a question mark. The question is, will the US, will the Trump administration listen to the political signal that's being given? Because apart from the legal questions and the formalities of it, can he be rejected, yes or no? I don't think that's very relevant. In diplomacy, it is important that people have mutual respect and trust. And clearly there is no trust here. So, that is something that the United States should consider.
And that was European Member of Parliament Sophie Interveld. Now, today, this weekend, Newshour Extra is looking at Steve Bannon, the White House chief strategist. Powerful man now. What does he think? We've got a great panel, including the Catholic thinker Ben Harnwell, who's known and supported Steve Bannon for many years.
If you want to understand Steve Bannon...